I mean, in everybody's life, you're going to have someone to pass. And when we think about grief, that's the first thing we think about. And I've had those instances, but later in life, because I never really grieved, I always just supported everybody else, was the one that tried to stay strong, the strong one, and got into adult, and oh, that's still bottled up in me. Then I realized that grief that has nothing to do with just just death. It can deal with a job. It can be with grieving a relationship, a loved one. It could do with anything that you lose. I mean, even grieving yourself because you have lost who you're supposed to be in that relationship, in that situation. So grief covers a lot of stuff that we never really thought of.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to Living the Next Chapter. It's the Author Podcast. Get to meet amazing people from around the world, and I love an author that brings inspiration, shares her faith, comes in and just wants to encourage you as a reader. And if you're looking for some direction in life, and you're looking for that thing that's bigger than you, but can really change your outlook on life, T.R. Monroe's here, and we're going to be talking about her journey as an author. She's got some great resources for you, some great reads. And as you listen to this today, I would love for you to think about someone else in your life that could really use some inspiration right now. And TR's got that for you. So I'm so excited. TR, welcome to Living the Next Chapter. I'm so happy to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed this opportunity to talk to new people.
Come on, right? I'm on your website. It's beautiful, by the way. I love it. I love the covers of your books. They're beautiful. It's just a gorgeous place to be. Everyone's got to go check the link in the show notes for TR to go check out everything about TR. TR, first let's start here because I know my audience loves to connect with our guests and where you are in the world. Where are you, TR? Where do you live?
I am in North Carolina.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's been home for a long time?
I've been born and bred. I'm a country girl.
Okay, so I have to say, TR, one of the things I've noticed with my U.S. author guests is not everyone is born and raised and still lives where they grew up and where their family roots are. I talk to people and I'm like, oh, you're in Arizona. Have you grown up there? Oh, I'm from New York. I'm like, everyone seems to move a lot in the U.S. and everyone's moving around. Not everybody's like you, TR. So
not me.
What keeps you there? What keeps you there? Why do you love that part of the world so much?
Family and support. I have my biological family and I call my spiritual family. And they're the best. They've been there with me from day one, as I can say.
Nice. Isn't that nice to have that community around you? Right? It's just like it's a privilege for many, many people to have what you have, right? And I think that's something sometimes we might even not even realize fully, right? As we kind of go through life, you're like, yeah, I do have a great community around me, and I need to think about them more often. Yeah, Yeah, I love that. Tell us a little bit more about your background, TR, as well. Outside of writing and authorship, tell us a little bit more about your background.
I am a mother of two. Both of my parents are still alive. Um, I am a high school media specialist, which is this fancy talk for librarian.
Well, that makes sense then. You're an author and a librarian. You sneak your books in on the shelf then, TR? What do you
think? I do give a lot of advice.
Excellent. Okay, so let's imagine, TR, we got some students listening to the show and they want to be an author someday, right? Now, these are young students, right? The students that you would come and see you all the time. They pull you aside and they're like, Miss TR, I really want to write a book. What's my starting point? What would you say to that young student who wants to be where you are someday?
I always say, write, because journaling is my mental release. That's my self-care for myself. And that's what my books came from my journals. But write, keep writing. Um, Put it down for a little while. Go back to it. Make any kind of correction. Um, Find somebody that you can that supports you, that can probably read over it. Um, because we see what we want to see when we write. Other people actually see if we done any mistakes or any grammar, whatever it may be. Um, Research. Oh, I push research so much with my students. Whether you're doing fiction or nonfiction, research. Research the areas that you're writing about. Research different historical times. Um, Research symptoms of a diagnosis. It's it opens you up so much, and then you got more to write about. So, but and don't be scared. Don't think that nobody wants to read my writing, because I did. I thought that, and I had people that's like supported me. It's like, yeah, you need to get this out. You need to talk to people. So don't be scared to get it out there. Whether you get it out there on Discord or TikTok or wherever, get it out. That is you. That is a part of you.
I like that. I like that a lot. What about people that might be wrestling a little bit, TR, with just who would ever want to read my words? Who would ever want to read my story? There's so many authors, TR. Like, I don't even have a chance for somebody to find me. What would you say to them?
If you're in your niche, trust me, someone will find you.
Hmm.
If you promote yourself on social media or where the website, where it may be, they will find you.
Hmm.
You can't be scared to think that nobody wants to hear your word. There are other people who are in the same journey that you've been in. There are other people who experience it, people that healed from it, people that are still dealing with it, that need to know that, oh, there's somebody else that's dealing with this that I.
For you, TR, who has been one of those meaningful influences for you, a support, an encouragement for you as an author? Who has been in your corner cheering you on as an author yourself?
Another author friend of mine, Danielle Anderson, um, another author, and my father, Warren Monroe,
Hmm.
and my aunt and my mother. I mean, my family is my foundation.
I think that's another thing too, is invest. We talked about community and where you live and that you love your community, but there's that your author community is another component of that, right? And it might be virtual for some people because they don't have anybody directly where they live,
That's
but you need to surround yourself with other people on a similar journey,
and there are
right?
many Facebook groups of authors that aspiring authors, people that want to be authors, people that are authors that want to reach down and mentor. Get involved. Get in those groups.
Do you find yourself mentoring authors outside of like students that you would come into contact with? Are you out there helping other authors as well?
I amongst my publisher, I have worked with the other authors that's here. Um,
Good.
and actually put together a meet the local author, Christian author event that I hosted through my business, Queen Bee Reads. And it was great to get them out, for people to see them, know what they're about, and even to hear, okay, this is my journey in writing. This is how I came about. They talked about their books, yes, to the readers, but they also talked about how did they get started.
All right. So we've kind of covered off some great advice for authors. Let's switch over to the readers that are going to be here, TR, to connect with you as an author. Can you kind of help me establish for the audience who you're trying to help through your writing? Do you have somebody in mind that you're like, this would be, if I could sit down and have coffee or tea with my ideal reader, who would be sitting across the table from you?
someone that's dealing with grief,
Mm.
someone that's made to fit in a small box that they cannot be their true self, someone that's been conditioned to be that people pleaser
Mm.
and have lost themselves. They are exhausted because of everything they do for others, but not enough for themselves.
Talk more, expand a little bit more on the grief side of that, because I've had a lot of amazing authors on the show that have some pretty amazing stories and a heart for people who are struggling with this right now. So expand on that from your perspective. Why is that important for you to talk about that?
I mean, in everybody's life, we're going to have someone to pass. And when
Yeah.
we think about grief, that's the first thing we think about. And I've had those instances, but later in life, because I never really grieved, I always just supported everybody else, was the one that tried to stay strong, the strong one, and got into adult, and oh, that's still bottled up in me. Then I realized that grief that has nothing to do with just just death. It can deal with a job. It can be with grieving a relationship, a loved one. It could do with anything that you lose. I mean, even grieving yourself because you have lost who you're supposed to be in that relationship, in that situation. So grief covers a lot of stuff that we never really thought of.
And yeah, that's interesting, because it could be, yeah, a loss of self-identity. It could be a loss of a job, a loss of a relationship, a loss of a loved one. There's so much that grief touches. And I don't think, even with all of the resources and all the information that we can put our fingers on, I still think people struggle with like implementing like ways to actually work through your grief and that journey of grief,
Yeah.
and not having somebody beside you during that, I think, is really hard. And I think a lot of times people around us in our family, in our community, pull away from people who are struggling with grief and their grief journey,
Hmm.
because we don't have the words to help them, because we're afraid we're afraid we're going to break them, because we might say the wrong thing or be insensitive, or there's so many things come to mind where people might say just the wrong thing at the wrong time, and so we pull back. And when we pull back, our friends and family who are wrestling with grief, they're alone, and
They're
that's the
alone.
time they need us the most, right?
Hmm. Yes. Yes. Um, don't be afraid to get it out. I don't care if you have to go into a room and cry, 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 because there's nothing wrong with crying. That's your release mechanism. Wipe your face, wash your face, and then go out and finish your day. I don't care if you have to go to a room and just scream, let it out.
Hmm.
People, if they hear you, might think you're a little crazy, but they also know what you're going through. So they know that it's needed. Um, Connect with people. It's not a problem with getting help. I mean, we were raised on during a time that it was taboo to see a counselor or to see a psychiatrist, that you had to be crazy to see them. No, it's nothing wrong with that. Is your self care. Self care doesn't have to be about money. It could be about anything to take care of yourself. Like mine is um, journaling, writing. Mine is also talking. I talk to other people with similar situations to help them and to help myself. Because we learn from teaching.
Now, as I go through your website again, we'll have a link for everybody to come see everything you have here. I'm seeing lots of things to talk about. You have many, many resources and books for us. And what I love too, and I want to highlight, is the fact that you have your English version of your book, and then you have a Spanish version of the book.
Yes.
That's not common for me to see that on people's website, the way you have it so beautifully displayed, TR. So tell me, like, what's the rationale? What's the reason that you want to make sure your books are available also in Spanish? I love the idea.
They grieve too.
Right.
They're conditioned too. They're having to fit in a small box also.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like us. It's no
Right.
difference. We're
Yeah.
all humans. We all have those feelings. And I think it needs to get out of there. My daughter is fluent in Spanish.
Mm.
So, and she's traveled to Argentina to do research and Puerto Rico to do conferences. So I was like, I can't leave that out. That is an arena that is not tapped into enough. And they need to actually be able to understand and read just because you're here, that doesn't mean you speak English very well. You're
Mm-hmm.
working on it, but that doesn't mean that it's actually fluent with you. And this is your opportunity to actually, okay, let me read a little bit on it.
Okay, just some of the practical things behind the scene then, because again, I don't see this on a lot of authors' websites. So I love that you have this, TR. I think it's great.
Thank you.
The how it happens, like, is that something that's you get help with translating into Spanish through your publisher, or are you doing this on your own? How does it actually come to light that you have both English and Spanish then available?
It I stressed it with my publisher and
Oh,
they
good.
had it taken care of there. My promotion and everything that I do on social media, if it's in Spanish, my daughter has translated for me.
Nice.
So it's it's a passionate area about me. Do I want more areas? Yes. We have many different languages here. I mean, they used to call it the melting pot.
Right.
We have everything here. And I
Yeah.
think we need to cater to that. It's not just conforming to English. It's catering to everybody's culture and liking.
Right. I was talking to somebody, met them, and I said something to them, and they just looked at me, and they pulled out their phone, and they did like an automatic translate because they're Spanish, and so they spoke in their phone, and then they held it up to me, and it translated English, and I'm like, oh, this is nice,
Oh
because
yeah.
now otherwise I wouldn't be able to communicate with them, and we had a nice little quick conversation, and I was like, that's really interesting, and again, in Canada, we have French and English are our two official languages, so that's something
Hmm.
we have two all the time, but
Yeah.
Spanish isn't one of our official languages. But I know that it's growing here in Canada too, and I love that that's what's happening in the U.S. I think
Hmm.
it's spectacular. Do you
Yeah.
find that there's any of the content of the book had to be slightly adjusted for a Spanish speaking audience? Because like what I found with some of my guests is that a saying in English doesn't really translate well into another language. It has to be kind of reworked to make sense
Yes.
for that audience. Did you have to do that
Yes.
as well? More than just a
Yes.
word for word translation?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. It was whatever was similar. Like if I used the saying, whatever was similar in that language, we had
Yeah.
translated it.
Okay.
Um, we just made sure that it was conversational,
Yeah.
that it was um, inviting, comforting, safe. And if I have it translated that it doesn't make any sense, then it's not going to be those things.
No, it's great. I wish more authors did this. So you're setting the bar high for other authors to follow your lead with this. I think it's really great. So take us through the books then. Like I have them here on the screen while we're chatting. There's a lot here. What's a good starting point for a new reader coming to you for the first time? Where would you send them first as like their first book to purchase and start their journey with you?
Well, in this, the three books are is called the Healing and Freedom series. We Still Rise is my first book, and it deals with grief loss, becoming, and it's about me telling my testimony and how I crawled to the point where I needed to heal, where I needed to learn how to sit in those feelings, accept those feelings, know that they're there, but keep living my life.
Mm.
The second book, Beyond the Good, is about that good girl, nice guy syndrome, and it's about conditioning. We were always told young, always say yes. Don't cause any waves, because if we did, we were a bad girl, and we did not want to be a bad girl.
Mm.
And that was conditioned into us to where it's staying as we grow up as adults. And we became people pleasers because of that.
Mm.
To the point where we're exhausted helping everybody else and saying yes and feel bad if we can't help somebody. That it just takes a lot of us out of us. I mean, even on the plane tells us, the stewardess tells us that we are to put our mask on first to be able to help someone else. So it's the same concept. We need to pour into our cup first before we pour into others,
Mm.
because we won't have anything left it, to pour if
Right.
we keep pouring, pouring. We have to bring ourselves up. My last book is pretty much the finale, and actually my favorite of the three.
Mm.
um, is Faith, Feelings, and Freedom. I call it FQ, my little
Nice.
education, education, math. So, but it is a prayer journal that's 52 weeks. Each week
Nice.
focuses on a different scripture that helps with a different feeling, and it provides you with an unfiltered prayer, a deep dive into that feeling, because we're good at saying, "Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good. How you doing today? I'm good. How you?"
Mm. Yeah,
Uh,
right.
this is that time to take off that mask.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. So, and it also provides a song that relates to that scripture in there.
Really?
Yes. And at the beginning of the book is a Spotify playlist of all the songs.
Wow. That's great.
So, yeah. Um, but it also provides like little journey and provides you an opportunity to do your own unfiltered prayer. What is it that you need to pray about in this week? And this book is broken down into what I call seasons, because we all go through seasons.
Yeah.
So we go through one season, and those are the things that deal with in there. And then the next season, as we progress to our spring and summer season. And I
I
mean, this
like
is
this.
one that I'm going to end up doing like small discussion groups on, and book studies on. This is going to be the one.
So it's kind of like having you right there with us
Hmm.
as a reader,
Hmm.
right? You're in the room with us. You're leading us, guiding us. It's a companion for us, and especially over 52 weeks. That's great. Like so we got all that you with us all the time, all year. That's
Hmm.
amazing.
Yes. Hmm. Something to help you, because no one can tell you how long to heal. No one can tell you how long to grieve. We all
Right.
grieve and heal at our own pace. No one can rush you. And if your grief and your healing takes that long, it's okay,
Mm.
because it's you. Now, if someone else grieves faster, then it's okay,
Yeah.
because that's them.
You mentioned earlier about your own personal testimony and your story. Can you share a little bit more with us as we go to buy the books as readers? A little bit more about your story as well? I think that might help people to connect even more.
I am the oldest child of a single mother, always made to be the strong one, always made to be the the focus, the helping hand. Um, I dealt with abandonment. I dealt with housing insecurity. We had to move around a lot, and I had to change schools. Therefore, I had to reinvent myself to find friends.
Yeah.
I had to be what they wanted me to be. So I lost myself at a very early age. I did not know who I was. And I went through essay by someone that I trusted.
Mm.
And that put me to the point where I just bottled up in myself. And I was steadily reaching out for understanding, for love, for males. And if I was this way, then they would love me.
Mm.
And that carried with me a long time. All that building up, and all of it just focuses on me not being myself, me not being honest with my feelings. I was a master at wearing that. I was a master.
Mm.
But there was an event that um, broke the camel's back, and I actually had to reach out for help. I had to reach out and ask for help, and I got it. But people was like, "We never knew you were dealing with it. We didn't know this was going on." Because I was always the strong one. No one
Right.
ever asks the strong one to be honest with their feelings. They just assume that you're okay and keep going.
It's all on the surface, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
We just live life on the surface, and
Hmm.
well, let's go back to the beginning. You love where you live and you love your community, but I think so often we just pass by each other in our day to day, and we have those, like you said, hey, how are you? I'm good. You good? And that's it. That's the extent of our connection.
Hmm.
There's a lot, I think there's a lot of people, TR, that could really benefit from these books, and they would be a great help for them, right? To find themselves again. I think that loss of self-identity and understanding their place in the world, especially when
Hmm.
something traumatic happens to them, they don't know where to go next, and they don't know who to talk to, right? There's a feeling of embarrassment. There's a feeling of that this happened to me for a reason, and I don't really know why, but I don't know who to talk to, and
Yeah.
there's just that awkwardness, right? And again, if we reach out to somebody and they don't know how to help us, they feel awkward and they might back away from us as
Right.
well. So having tools like this that you provided for us as readers,
Hmm.
the beautiful thing is we can work through these things,
Yes.
and it feels like, as I go through everything, it does feel like a
A
workbook. It
workbook.
feels like
Yes.
it is something for you to really not just read, but you're going to actually be investing time with this, right?
Yes. Hmm. Investing time, putting in those feelings, being honest with yourself,
Right.
getting to the point where if you're not, if you're too big to fit in their box, then that's not the box you were supposed to be in.
Mm, it's good. I like that.
If you're not
Right.
good enough for what they need, then they're not good enough for you. I had to get to the
Mm,
point where instead of asking everybody, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing today? Mm-mm. I asked, how's your mental today? And it
mm,
shocks them that they actually have to think
yeah.
and be honest. So,
Yeah.
hmm
What kind of response have you heard from readers as they've reached out to you and they've purchased a book and they've been working through these workbooks? What are you hearing back from people that are outside of your community, people that you would not have met otherwise. What are you hearing back?
I'm getting reviews back. This is impactful. This was um, life changing. I looked in the analytics from my website, and it tells me that I've been to 5 different countries. I was like, wow. I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, people are looking at my stuff. I'm like, oh my goodness. It was so humbling that little old me,
Right.
somebody wants to hear what I have to say.
Right.
Somebody went through the same things that I went through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very humbling because if I didn't have that support to get my testimony out there, no matter how embarrassing I thought it was,
Right. Yeah.
because I was scared because this was going to be out. As I said, my family didn't even know these things were happening to me.
Wow. Wow.
And I was, as I said, the strong one. I'm also the oldest grandchild of 11 grandkids. So I always had to be that role model.
Right.
Always had to be there for everybody. But
Hmm.
reaching out and getting professional help,
Yeah.
and I found that group therapy, oh, I love therapy because there are other people
Really.
in there that had dealt with the same thing. And I can like, wow, I didn't think about it.
Hmm.
So it was eye opening, life changing, and put me on a path that I think God wanted me on.
One thing, TR, like the thing I love about podcasts is that somebody's listening to us right now. They have their headphones or little earbuds in their ear. Nobody knows what they're listening to. They could be listening to an audiobook, music, anything, but they're listening to us. They're listening to you. And they have a secret and they don't know what to do. And they're feeling really alone in this world right now. Maybe this is the first time they've heard of you and your books and they're going to go buy them all. But if you could speak to them in the privacy of their listening experience right now as they have time with us, and again, they don't have to, nobody needs to know that they're listening to this conversation and they feel safe here. And this is an opportunity for you to speak directly to them in this moment. If I just kind of got out of the way for a minute and you could just talk to that person who's really going to benefit from reading and going through these workbooks and connecting with you. But if you could just have time with them to encourage them, they're just feeling overwhelmed and they're feeling alone in this stuff that they know that nobody else knows. What would you say to them?
I would say it's okay to have them. It's okay to actually sit in those feelings and know that those are a part of you because all that trauma is a part of my life and it's a part of your life. And it's okay to have that as part of you because that's what makes you who you are. That is what builds you into who you are today. Whether you had to be strong, whether you um, had to be the one to help everybody. And I found that a lot of people who go through trauma are usually those helping people. We help other people so much, and that's a good thing. But as I said earlier, we got to help ourselves. Self care is a wonderful thing. It doesn't have to be about money. It can be sitting there listening to a podcast, just actually getting it in. It could be sitting there reading a book or writing in your journal. So if that is your way to release those feelings. Now, as far as other people not knowing what you're going through, actually listen, sit and listen to who is your true. support? Who are the ones that are there for you, that are non-judging, that are that unconditional love that you didn't know you had, but they're there. Those are the ones that you're going to have to open up. And those also the ones that are going to, like, okay, we see this. Now, how can we help you? How can we help you grow? Do we need to find you professional help? Do we need to allow you to write, to have that time for yourself? I mean, my books are from years of journaling. That's all it came from, my journal. All the pain that I've dealt with, all the conforming I had to deal with. And it's the same, it could be the same for you. There's nothing wrong with not being the strong one. There's nothing wrong with it. We all have weaknesses. Whether we show them or not, we all have it. We are not superwoman. I don't care how many times people tell you, oh, you my superwoman, you my superman, oh, you my knight in shining armor. Guess what?
Mm.
Tell them, no, I'm not. I am simply me. Because when they keep telling you that, you keep feeling like you have to be there. You keep feeling like
Right.
it's okay. They need me,
Yeah.
but you need you. You need to sit and understand those feelings and say, yes, this is me. Now, at this point, how can I move on? What do I need to do? That's why I say research, because that's all I did. I researched. As a librarian, yeah, I do a lot of research. So, but find out about the different things. Find out, research people, research grief, research healing. And then the most important thing for me was going into my Bible because that was my template.
I love it. It's great, TR. Let's talk a little bit about the website before we go. I want people to come and check it out. Again, I've been looking at it while we've been chatting today. It's a beautiful website. For people coming to your website, we can go there. We can see events. We can see reviews about you. There's links to your social platforms as well, links to all the books in English and Spanish, which is great. So anything on the website that you really want people to pay attention to when they come to your site?
My books, and because you can purchase them straight from the website.
Right.
And the good thing about purchasing them from the website is that they come autographed.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. hmm Now, I also want people to look at my events, look at the different podcasts that I've done, because even though my message might be the same, it's always delivered in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on how I see that people need me, how I need me
Mm-hmm.
to be.
I even see Living the Next Chapter podcast on here. What is
Yes,
that
I'm
show,
gonna
TR? I have no
look
idea
it
what that show is. What is that?
up. Yes,
Woo, I made the list.
I'm going.
That's amazing.
You made my list.
Wow. Well, now I feel like I've made it to the top of the mountain now because I'm going to be on TR's website. I think that's great. Excellent. TR, give us a closing thought as we head towards the exit here. Wrap this up for the listener. I'm going to, again, just go sit with the audience and listen. But your closing thought, how these books are helping people, your dream, your wish, the finish line for the reader. What do you got for us as we close up today? It's all about you. Come on.
Healing does not require perfection. Healing can be, it can hurt. Oh my goodness, it hurts. You can lose people. Those people who are used to you being a certain way, and that's what they will get from. If you're starting to change, you're starting to heal, you're not going to be what they wanted you to be. And that's okay because maybe they were there for a season. And we have to be there for all of us.
Excellent, TR. Again, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for sharing a piece of your story with us. I really appreciate that. For creating these resources, these workbooks, and these companion pieces for people to go on their healing journey as well. I just think it's outstanding that you've put these out into the world. And I just want to celebrate you as an author, as a writer, and as someone who cares about your audience very deeply. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you so much. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to have my voice be heard, giving me opportunity to collaborate from Canada.
Right.
I mean, it's wonderful.
Yeah, I think it's great. And we have a beautiful audience around the world that listens to the show. Mm-hmm. So, people are going to hear our conversation in places that you would never imagine, TR. And I can't wait for them to reach out to you, leave you a message, send you an email, contact you through your website, and just say, I heard you on Living the Next Chapter. And I hope that everyone listening will do that. After you buy the books, and you leave a great review, because I know TR would love that you actually reach out to TR through her website and just drop her a little encouragement and a little note to say thank you, and speak to her directly through her website. I know she'd love to hear from you wherever you are in the world.
I love it. I love it. I love hearing from other people that they're taking that step into healing.
Right.
Because a lot of us have never taken it before. And it's powerful.
Right. I've heard people say, TR, we overcome through the power of our testimony. Mm-hmm. Right. And you sharing your testimony and your story with us today is powerful. So thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. Everyone, all information for TR in the show notes. As always, like I said, buy all 3 books. And for our Spanish-speaking audience, hello, we love you. There's a copies for you as well. Share this out with somebody that you know and love that also could use these resources. And again, TR, thank you so much for making time for us. Really appreciate you.
Thank you. And y'all have a blessed day.
Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here all the way to the end of the podcast. You are the best. livingthenextchapter.com is our website. If you're interested and you want to know more, go there, check out all our links. You can find everything to do with Living the Next Chapter all in one place at livingthenextchapter.com, including a calendar link. Yeah. So whether you want to come on the show as a guest and talk about your book and your writing and all that, or you just want to get together and have a virtual coffee with Dave, it's right there on livingthenextchapter.com. The calendar, my links, my buy me a coffee, because I love my coffee. Anything to do with Living the Next Chapter, you can find at livingthenextchapter.com. I would love for you to come and see what we're doing over there. Thanks for being here. Thanks to you for being part of the show. Catch you on the next episode. Take care.